Hi Ben, I hope you're doing well today. Thanks for sending those two videos over. It's super helpful for me to see what's going on with your playing. I'll make some comments about those, and then we'll talk more when I see you in the studio in person next time before you head out on your camping trip. So first thing is for Susie Q. Sounds really nice. I'm starting to hear, even though you've only had the song for maybe like a couple weeks, I'm really starting to hear the melody kind of connect there. So that's really good. Let's smooth her out a little bit. So first thing is, I know the section we're talking about is like brand new, so we'll go over some teaching points with it. Is the A to C chord transition. There's a little seam in between the two. I'm sure you probably know. The way to fix that, so you have A. What I would practice doing is seeing if you can loop that. You can give the C chord, I know the C chord in the song only has two strums in it, but what you can do is just practice doing the same strum pattern for each chord and then just try and transition back and forth. Remember, the big secret in guitar is don't stop strumming no matter, for strumming guitar at least, don't stop strumming no matter what you do. So when I'm playing the A chord to C chord, down, 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 up, down, 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 down. Now, there's some things we can do there to hedge our bets a little bit in terms of actually being able to nail that chord transition rather than just repeat it over and over again in hopes that you succeed. One thing, if you watch my hand when I'm doing that, if I'm playing here, fingers 1, 2, 3, notice I turn my hand when I'm transitioning from the A chord to the C chord. So I'm doing that. So it's like I'm falling into the C chord. Everybody has to go exactly where they're supposed to. So first thing maybe you should do is go here, one strum on the A, turn the hand, and see if you can go right to where everyone's supposed to go. So practice slow, just one strum at a time. And then turn the hand. That way they fall into the floor. If you do this and then try to reach, that's a lot harder. I feel like I'm stretched out right here. You want to be like this and the fingers want to be curled. And then once you kind of practice that a few times, then go back and do the don't stop strumming no matter what you do with something new in mind that you're doing. Whenever you're practicing, you want to try different things rather than just playing something over and over again. You want to try, slowing it down. Okay, what am I doing wrong with my hand? Is there something that I could do better in there? Do more better. So in this situation, you might want to practice going. Turn the hand. If that's comfortable, then try looping it. And then you might want to practice the other part of it too, which is going from the C to the note B. Oops, I should practice that. C. So if I were in your position, I would take the C chord, practice those two things. So we just practice take away all the stuff that doesn't matter, or you take two problems and you separate them. So the one problem is going from A to the C, and then the C to the note B right there. You want to separate all that stuff out so it becomes two problems that you work on separately, and then you combine them later on once you are comfortable with them in their own separate thing. With the main riff, practice the hammer-on exercise. Making sure that because what we need to do is we need to get your left hand talking to your right hand. They're almost there. There's still, sometimes there's something's lost in translation every once in a while, but that's okay. You're still learning it. So you want to practice doing that. So when you play, this hand is synced up with this hand when you go to the string. So it takes a while to kind of program that, but just keep practicing that exercise. So it's not just a matter of playing the songs over and over again. So say if you have like a 10-minute practice session where you have some time, and you might want to spend maybe 2 minutes doing like an exercise, like can you sync both hands together, and then spend the rest of the 8 minutes on the song. But you do need to spend a certain amount of time on the exercises to make your hands stronger. That's why you do exercises in soccer, right? They just don't throw the ball on the field and tell you all had to have at it. You got to do your drills and everything. It's important. It's not the most glamorous part of playing guitar, but it's a necessary part. So then practice looping the end of the riff to the beginning. Because a lot of times when I was first starting out, I just play the riff and then stop and then play the riff and then stop. So a younger Doug would have done this. But what you want to practice doing is that seam in between the end of the riff and the beginning. Remember that open, by the way, that we talked. I can't remember if I talked about it with you. I talked about it with somebody. You don't want that bass note to ring over top of the beginning, so I'm doing more of that in person next week. Or yeah, next week will be next week. So practice going. Like I said before, getting good at a riff isn't just looping something over and over until eventually you get it right. It's going, what in there is giving me trouble? Stop, work on that part. So say, for example, the hammer-on thing that, like, I'm glad you played it twice, because when you looped it, I could hear that the hammer-on got better the second time. So there is something to say about like repeating things over and over to get them right, but you wouldn't be able to nail them the first time, ideally. So practice that. In little fragments, right? Where we did. Right, get that down. Then. And then the seam at the end from the beginning of the riff back into the beginning again. So practice those things for me. And then last thing is Ode to Joy. Sounds nice. I like it. I love the fact that you have it memorized. It's great. That tells me that you practiced it. It's good. It's also a memorable riff too, so it's a nice one. Look at the third line. The third line is the toughest. That one takes the most time to get down. Check to make sure that you're getting all the notes in there. Sometimes when we're someone who's like quick to memorize things, sometimes we memorize it so fast that we'll forget like a thing or two that's in there, right? Because you assimilate the knowledge so quickly. So make sure you go through. Look at that third line. There's a that in the beginning, 2 Ds right there. Oops. Make sure those 2 Ds are in there. Other than that, it's nice. I think go ahead and start learning the next one. I believe the next one off the top of my head I think is blues. So go ahead and learn that. There's nothing new in there in terms of material. It's just another melody with the same notes in different configuration. We'll hit up the chapter 3 probably, notes on the 3rd string probably next time. So go ahead and start learning blues. I think it's a little bit easier than Ode to Joy. Start learning that, and then if you have any questions or if you like me look at anything else, I don't mind. Have your mom send it over to me. If not, I will see you same time next week. Take care.